Hello. Let's get started today by sitting on your heels. So I just have my feet flat and I'm sitting on my heels. If this is intense for you, if this is a really good stretch, then I would want you to even lean forward to make it a little bit less intense. If it's not that intense, you can lean backwards. You could even sit, like pull your calves to the side and sit between your legs. We're just gonna hang out here for a moment. And regardless of where you are, you can think about rocking your hips left and right. Small rocks left and right. So in the easiest version, maybe you're leaning forward and doing small rocks. On the hardest version, maybe you're sitting back and really moving. Whatever is best for you, we're just getting comfortable in this position to start. After a few rocks, we can straighten and come to a cowboy pose where I'm kind of on one foot like this. I want you to grab your big toe and pull it to the side. So stretch your big toe as you rock forward and back. Cool, you can switch sides. So I'm pulling my big toe in, and then I'm just kind of rocking forward and back on that front foot. If this is intense, you can just stay there. If it's a piece of cake, then you can go to sitting on your toes. Again, you could be in a forward position if it's a lot. You can be backwards if it's not that much. I want you to make sure though that your toes are not, like bunions coming in like that. I want you to try to spread your toes before you go down into that position. And here, you can kind of rock your hips a little bit left and right. We're starting at the feet and ankles if you haven't noticed yet. Now from here, after the feet and ankles, we're gonna go to the hips. So you can just bring your hip forward, one leg forward. Place your hands onto your front leg, tuck your back toes under, and then kind of brace your core by pulling everything down and in and tight to feel a stretch in the front of your back leg. From here, if you feel a good stretch, you can just do small forward and back micro movements. You can also do small circles. If you can keep this stretch, I want you to try to push your hips all the way forward. If you lose the stretch or it goes somewhere else, then I want you to come back to this position. But as long as you feel a stretch in the front of that leg, you can go as far forward or back as you want. And I recommend it if you can do it. But if I come forward and I lose this stretch, then there's no purpose. The purpose is to stretch this leg. Cool, after a few rocks, you can switch sides. I'm tucking my toes under, hands on this front leg, bracing in and down to engage my core. And I'm just rocking forward and back. Always feeling a stretch in the front of the back leg. If you can come all the way forward. If that's not for you yet, you can stay back. That's totally fine. Small rocks or circles. Cool. From here, we're going to get into a little bit of a flow. So I'll have you bring one leg out to the side. If this is really intense for you, then I would say bring your hands down in front of you. If this is still intense for you, then I would say sit onto your leg and just kind of have this leg out. But if it's not super intense, then we're gonna roll with it. So we're gonna go from here, a Cossack squat position, to the other side, a Cossack squat position. You can see that as I'm here, my toes are up towards the sky of my outstretched leg. This leg, I am pushing my knee out. So my knee is not in, I'm pushing it out. That's the idea. You're getting a really good groin stretch. And you can kind of just flow side to side. So we got the hip flexors, now we get the inner thighs or adductors. Flowing side to side. And I wore my shirt. I got it for Christmas. I flexed and the sleeves fell off. Is it lame? I don't know, I'll let you decide in the comments. Cool shirt, lame shirt, you let me know. Cool, after a few rocks side to side in the Cossack squat, you can do a rotation. So go to one side and then just rotate towards that leg. If you want, you can keep the knee up, the back knee up, or you can bring it down. I really like to open up this way. Maybe even place that top hand on my front knee and push it out. And then you can rotate right back. This is our flow to a Cossack squat. Going to the other side, rotating. Placing my back knee down, placing my right hand on my front knee, pushing it out. And maybe we flow 1 or 2 more times through this. Rotating. You should feel a nice glute stretch. You should feel a nice, maybe the back leg, maybe the front leg. You might feel everything. That's good. That's our purpose here. It's just to get a flow and stretch everything. Nice. Cool. After a few more Cossack squats, maybe side to side. Now we're gonna get our outer thigh and inner thigh so we can get into a pigeon stretch. Now, although we can do this like a passive pigeon, meaning just laying here, I want you to keep it active. So what we're gonna do instead is we're gonna go from the bottom position and then you're gonna flex this hip to come up. So it's almost like I'm rocking my hips to the side and then back up. And the reason for doing this is because not only am I getting a stretch, but I'm keeping it active. So I'm actively engaging my muscles as I stretch them. So I'm just rocking side to side. Again, it's the front leg that I'm feeling the stretch in my glute or my hip. And I'm just rocking side to side, trying to squeeze to come up and relax to go down, and squeeze to come up and relax to go down. You can switch legs when you're ready. Rocking side to side, stretching to one side and then squeezing my glute to come up, and then stretch it out and then squeezing to come up. Moving at your own pace. You should just feel a really nice glute or thigh, hip stretch rather. Smooth breathing. Didn't talk about breathing at all, but anytime you're stretching, we want smooth breath. If you're holding your breath, that means you're holding tension. And when we're stretching, we don't want tension. Cool. So that was outer thighs. Now we're gonna get inner thighs. For the inner thighs, we're going to do this frog stretch. So I have my knees wide, my feet as wide as I can get them, but I want you to maintain a little bit of an arch in your lower back. Don't let your body round like this, arch like this. So I'd rather have your knees closer together, your feet closer together with a little arch in your back, versus being lower with no arch, if that makes sense. And from here, we can kind of rock side to side. We can also pick up one foot or the other foot. This could be a very intense stretch for some people. So always start slow. Less is more to begin with. Rocking side to side. You could also do a little bit forward and back, side to side. You could even reach one arm under and through. Get a thoracic spine stretch combination. All are good options. The most important thing when it comes to stretching is consistency. So just doing 5, 10, 15 minutes per day is enough for you to make some progress. Now, if you're really serious and you want to, for example, get the full splits, then you have to be super consistent. You have to train every day, 15 minutes minimum, more like 30, 45, or even an hour of stretching per day. Now, my personal tip is to lay on the ground. The more time you spend on the ground, the more time you are stretching without even trying to stretch. So that's it. That was a short mobility flow. If you liked the video, like the damn video. Would you like to see more stuff like this? If so, let me know down below. And that's it. Until next time, peace.